Hi everyone, this is Cody Smith. Welcome to my channel, Cody Smith, Pure Sport with Christ. I just want to let everyone know I'm still working on my book, kind of slowly but surely. And here's a bit of a breakdown because I wanted to start off by giving you a little backstory, which is, here's who I am, here's how I got my disability personally, and then, you know, giving you kind of the history of where the disability community is with the signing of the ADA and the history that we've gone through to get there throughout throughout time and throughout the centuries, the persecution and things that the community has gone through to leading up to the signing of the ADA, so you can see where we are, where we've been, how far we've come, and how far we have to go. And then, maybe not exactly, but at least a brief idea to set it in its proper context. And then that's chapter one. And of course, chapter two is going to be, the medical information about my disability, just to give you a better idea as to what it is and what it's potentially doing to me internally, how it's affecting me. And, you know, as I go through that, I may break that into sections and insert, my own personal experiences in between and kind of go throughout the different stages of my life. Like I said in my previous video, not going year by year, but stage by stage, so that you can see what I've gone through, where I've been, how far I've come, where I am, and how it's kind of built me into the person that I am today over time as I go through my entire life leading up to where I am. And of course, in chapter 3 and so on, I'm going to be talking about the different things going on in, like, how does history play into this? How does the laws of the universe play into this? How do we, what determines that a disability is unhealthy? And where does the criteria come from? Since we obviously didn't create disabilities and we didn't make them up, we found them and we discovered them. Where did they originally come from and why? And things like that. How did they get here and how do we know they're unhealthy versus a perfectly healthy human being who does not have a disability, and things like that, so that you can see, okay, here's where here's the difference, and here's what the criteria is, whether it be legally or medically. And I'm also going to be interviewing my family because my brother does not have a disability, my parents do not have disabilities, and I'm going to be interviewing them and inserting what they say just to show you their perspective so that you can see, okay, not only what it's like for me living with a disability, but what is it like for them living with it and it indirectly affecting them where they have to help take care of me throughout the years and assist me physically with different activities while I slowly but steadily gain the strength and mobility to do these things and find my own way of doing these things so that I can be as independent as possible. And my journey from, being a helpless, completely dependent child and baby all the way to where I am today as an adult, and what I've learned and what I've gone through and these different things. And that's what I want society to see, and see what I've learned and see what I've discovered and see what I've become and how this has affected my life, my faith, my personality, what it's taught me, what it's trained me to do, what talents and skills I've developed, and maybe even open people's eyes to, well, if he's developed all of this, what have others developed that I don't know about, that maybe if I look and I learn their story, I could figure it out and maybe find out a way to help them use it. And then if I could help them use it, then they could help society by using it. And that is what I really want everyone to know. And even though I haven't really broken everything down chapter by chapter yet, I do plan on doing this, and I do plan on trying to answer questions and comments and addressing different, misconceptions, myths, stereotypes, curiosities from people who do not have disabilities, because like I've said, I it's in the state of South Carolina where I live. The disability community makes up about a third of the state population, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, about a fifth or even a fourth of the American and world population. So I want everyone to know that, and I want everyone to see, if it's one out of every 4 or 5 people in the entire world have a disability, and some might even be undiagnosed and we not even know it, and some might be perceived to have a disability but they don't, based on the way they act or whatever it may be. you know, it could be that, there might be even more people with disabilities that we don't even know about. So I just want society to be aware of that and be able to see, based on the criteria that makes a human being, we all still have that regardless of whether or not we have a disability or any other personal circumstance. So we should all be treated as equals, and whatever one human being who does not have a disability is innately given by society, just on the fact that they're human, people with a disability should be given the same thing just because we are human as well. Our disability does not degrade our humanity, does not lessen it, does not change us in any way. It just changes our personal circumstances, just like anything else, whether that be height, weight, ethnicity, national origin, whatever it may be. So it's just a circumstance that we were placed in that we didn't have a choice in, and we had to make do with what we got and figure out a way to work around it to go from the life we have to the life we want. And that's ultimately what I'm trying to do, both for myself and I hope to do for others as well, whether you have a disability or not. And if I had it my way, I would literally help everyone else on the face of the earth do that. But I can't do that because I can't talk to literally the 8 billion plus people on the face of the earth and learn all of their stories and be able to help them. But if I could, I would, because I feel we all deserve that as equal human beings. Thanks for listening, everyone. Have a great day. Please like, share, subscribe. Let me know of any questions, comments, curiosities you have. I'll gladly try to answer them either in a video and or in my book, whichever you prefer. And hope you have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow for another video. And again, please like, share, subscribe, leave questions and comments, and I will try to address them in any way I can. But I can only speak for myself, so I'd like everyone to keep that in mind. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.